go. So what's going on tonight, y'all?
Just chilling,
Hey,
waiting
Coach,
for the
Coach Carter, do me a
live.
favor, man. Look up how much blood is found in the semen of a man when he ejaculates. I want to know how much blood is in the semen. Okay?
Okay.
I need to find that out real quick just as we get ready to get started. I want to prove a point tonight on family because I believe that one of our biggest issues is we don't understand family. Okay? Um, I will say this that a family is the basic social, economic, and the spiritual um, 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 through which God uses to order life within the earth realm. I know He uses that. Family is also associated with the nation, the family, the nation of all the families of the earth. Only you have I known. And He was speaking of Israel. So that means that there is definitely a blood related relationship with us, between us and the Most High. And the only way that can be is He had to become like man, Israel, so that Israel could become like Him. Okay, how you doing, Sister Brandy? So tonight, we got a great lesson tonight. A great lesson. You know, they're gonna be asking me some more questions. Um, so we're gonna be doing that tonight. But I wanted to go through this right here. Family shahai or shofar, which means to bear, to stick out, to stick together. And it's like family is like glue. You know what I'm saying? And so as a nation of Judah, the nation of Israel, we are one family. Okay, we come through one bloodline that started with Abraham. Okay, so and we are definitely related blood wise. But when it comes to family as we know it, we need to understand that family is blood related, okay? And the relationship for family comes from the father. You got to hear me clearly, women and men. The blood relationship for the family comes from the father. So tonight, we're going to be talking about a lot of these different aspects of life and what does it mean to be family, you know, to be family. We're all family, but we just don't recognize it because of Western theology has given us a different has offered us a paradigm shift in which we are able to identify who and what we call family, okay? And because of that, we have redefined family, okay? So if family is definitely identified through the Father, our Father, when we pray, teach us to pray, our Father, the bloodline is established through the Father when he was pierced in his side, water and blood. Our Father, when he went to the Father, he presented the blood, which came from Judah, which was through the line of David, which established us as royalty. You are a royal generation. You follow me, right? You are a holy generation, a royal priesthood, because he was a great high priest. So that means that we are priests. We come from a priestly nation. But I want to talk to us tonight a little bit as soon as he gets back with that percentage of blood that is in the man when he released himself into the woman. How much is it?
It said 3 to 7 micrograms.
Three to
When I typed in blood, it said blood is not found in there. So I typed in DNA, and it said 3 to 7 micrograms.
okay. In there there is blood in it. I'm not sure why I would say that, but I know that it is a certain percentage of it that is blood. But 3 to 7 micrograms, that means that blood that's inside that man that is going into that woman identifies her as his family. This is why when a man releases himself into a woman, it's cerebral spinal fluid that comes from his brain and it goes to her brain. Can y'all hear? Can you hear me okay?
Yes, I can hear you.
I see one question saying, can y'all hear?
I can hear you just fine.
Okay. So the and the semen from a man is the only thing that can penetrate what they call the blood-brain barrier. Okay, the only thing that can penetrate that within the woman is the semen of a man. It's the only thing that can penetrate that, the blood-brain barrier. That is what identifies that woman as that man's. Okay, it's a marker that goes in, and I don't know how many people can own one body. How many men can own one body? How many men can actually be the husband of one woman? I don't know. I really don't know. But I do know this right here, that according to Western theology, it is not even identified until the woman owns the man through the vow. Once she owns the man through the vow, then and only then is she identified as family. It is so serious until we call a woman with children without a man family. But if there is no man there, how can it be a family? That's the redefining. That's a paradigm shift. Because what we've done is we've redefined family to fit a narrative so we can some kind of way escape doing it God's way. Because if we were really to sit back, and tonight I'm going to tell you, I don't care about your feelings. I don't care about your emotions. You're going to get mad tonight. I'm going to just let you know that. How you doing, Shantrisha? You're going to get mad tonight. And it is not to hurt you, but it's to really wake us up to what we have created, what we have done, how we have done it, and how we need to correct this problem. As men, when you release yourself into that woman, that's your family. Okay? Women, when that man releases himself into you, you are his family. You got to hear me now. And so how many families can a woman belong to? And how many families can a man actually obtain as a provider, protector, and a cover? This is why the Bible says that a man that does not take care of his family is worse than an infidel. That means that if that man goes into that woman and he denies her the basic rights of a wife, he is identified as a non-believing, no God-fearing, and I'm going to use it in Unc's term, he is a jellyback, spineless, worthless, breathing nothingness. Because, and all of us have fallen into that category, including me. So when I'm looking at this, when I'm thinking about this thing, and I'm saying, okay, God, so what do we do from here? He says, get in the word. The day you hear my voice, well, what is the voice of God? Anybody remember what the voice is? Put it in the comments before I give the answer. Let's see what the Bible says. I know it, but I want you to know, because I don't want you to say that I'm making this up. We're going to come from, thank you, introspective, that's the correct answer. It is the word. The voice is the word. The word is the law, okay? The law. Remember, I explained to you guys a while ago, the Bible is broken down. And there is no such thing as Bible stories. We got to stop that. Stop it. That makes you minimize the character of God and what he likes and what he don't like, what he endorses and what he don't endorses. Because when we look at it as stories, it leaves us the ability to create our own scenarios and what it is. But when we look at it the way God sees it, and he said it, his character, because he's immutable, he does not change. And since he does not change, then that means that what he didn't like then, he don't like now. What he did like then, he still likes now, because he has not changed. So since the Most High has not changed, can you let him up, Pastor Knowledge? Since he has not changed, then what we have here is we have a scenario where we
I don't see anybody.
We have created our own definition of family, because we have allowed these Bible stories to dictate to us. The story of Daniel in the lion's den, the story of the 3 Hebrew boys, the story of Samson, the story of the opening of the Red Sea. These are, we call these stories, but these are God's character. The story of the earth opening up and swallowing 20,000 men. You need to understand why these things happen. These are a display of God's character. Either he's showing his wrath towards his family, or he's showing his love towards his family. In either case, he's protecting his family. In either case, he's protecting his family. So if he's interested, or if he's pursuing his family, then why would we want to change that if he has already determined that we are his family? And the reason I'm going down this trajectory is because I see a lot of broken bodies. When you hear me say broken bodies, I'm talking about divorces. A divorce is a broken body, okay? Because if the man and the woman coming together, and the only thing that can penetrate the blood-brain barrier is a man being inside of a woman, that's the only thing that can penetrate the blood-brain barrier, then when that splits, when it's broken, that's a broken body. And let me ask you a question. If you have ever had a hurt finger, or a hurt toe, or a broken bone, or surgery, any of those things on your body, does it hurt? A bee sting, it hurts. It hurts. A cut, because it cuts, it gets into the fiber of your flesh. So when a family, a man and a woman, that's the children come into the family. Okay, it's not the children that makes the family, it's the man and the woman that makes the family. You got to hear me now. The children become a part of the family to promote the legacy of the family, which is the man. But when you have a broken body, and we have a lot of broken bodies walking around here, we have a lot of broken people walking around here, because and I'm not talking about just by the vowels neither. I'm talking about just by you being attached to someone and getting up and leaving them. Whether you be a male or a female, you have broken a body. And how many times do you think a body can be broken? How many times do you think a leg can be broken before it's irreparable? I just want to know. Because what we're thinking is that as long as we're alive, we can keep doing this. We keep doing this and keep doing this. And we're trying, and the only thing we're doing is we're putting a cast on it, on top of another cask, on top of another cask, on top of another cask, and we're never healing. We're never going through the process to let the body heal. And so for that reason, only thing we're doing is we're masking it. And we're not even putting a cast on it, we're putting Band-Aids on it. Because anything that comes up that resembles that again, it triggers the pain all over again. It triggers that pain all over again. Hold on.
Somebody trying to come up?
No, that's me.
I can't see anybody. Oh.
That's me. Can you see me now?
Yes.
Okay. How you doing, we the people?
Yo, Shalom, what's going on?
Everything is good, man. Everything is good, man. I want to get out family tonight, and that's because I've seen some things today, and I think that the defining of the family has been thwarted, where the woman doesn't know her place and the man doesn't know his place in the family, and we're trying to have relationships and call a relationship a family. A family is where the blood-brain barrier has been penetrated or has been penetrated by the man.
So that's that intimacy.
There we go. That's where it starts at. And the problem is
there ever a type of intimacy that could be had where a family is not started?
It's not started. I don't have an answer for that, Because according to even, listen at this. Let's go to Romans chapter number 1. Because I want to show you something. With that question, I want to show you something. I'm glad that you asked that. Is there ever a time where a man going into a woman where the blood-brain barrier is not penetrated? Let's see what it says. Verse number 26 in Romans chapter 1. For this cause, Yah, God, the Most High, gave them up unto vile affections. This is eerily disaster for us. Eerie disaster for us. To vile affection. For even their women did change the natural use into that which is against nature. What is against nature? To be intimate without, hear me clearly, without the possibility of procreating. To be intimate without the possibility of procreating is vile. Because it's unnatural. It is not natural to be intimate without being able to procreate. And by that I mean we do things to stop procreation. Because every time you intimate does not mean that there is going to be a pregnancy. But when we do things to prevent it, y'all know what I mean. I think everybody on here is grown enough to understand. When we do things that are to prevent it, these are called vile affections. Now listen to verse 27. Likewise, also men, leaving the natural use of the woman, listen to this now, burned in the lust one toward another. And he tell you what that is. Men with men, working that which is unseemly, and receiving in themselves. So when a man goes into a man, another man, semen coming from his brain goes and attaches itself to another man.
That's nasty. So that word vile affections, it also spills down. It's not just for the woman. It's also spilling down into the man, because that word vile affections means degrading passions. Degrading passions.
Woo.
So that means that when you commit this act, you lose value. You've been degraded. You didn't get upgraded, you got degraded. So even though you got some passion out of it, it lessens you as a man, or it lessens you as a woman. That word where it says that they receive to themselves, that recompense means the penalty. So they're going to receive to themselves a penalty of their error, which was, I think it says meat, which I know is
meat,
which was
or
like fitting.
Yep.
Or right, you're going to get a penalty that's fitting for what you've done.
That's the judgment. And that's where that man's semen is on your brain.
Multiple men.
Because the most promiscuous people on the planet are people who practice that lifestyle.
Degrading passions. That reminds me of when you broke down the word adultery. When you said that the word adultery actually means to mix something with something that wasn't supposed to be mixed with. Once a man enters into a woman, that woman is not supposed to be entered into by any other man. And when she allows herself to be put into that situation, that's when it falls under the vile affections or the degrading passions. It's passion behind it. Ooh, he makes me feel like this. Ooh, something about him make me tingle. Like, you know what I'm saying? But even though you went after your passion, you don't see that you're losing the value that the Most High gave you from the time that you was a virgin to be carried over into the time that you was married to one man.
Do y'all understand this thing? In the live, my people in the live. Hey, how you doing, preacher? In the live, man, I hope that you're getting this. Because if you're getting this should, I told you today when I came on, I said you're going to be mad with me tonight. I said that. I said that. And I said, I want you to be mad, not to the degree of not wanting to hear, but to the degree that I'm abhorred with myself because I didn't know.
Are we still on the women tonight? Or we moving on?
No, we're going to go to the questions. Whatever pass, whatever y'all got.
I mean, I can go either way. Don't matter. I got something for the men. I got something for the women.
Coach, man, get over it, man. Put some water in your mouth, man. Go to sleep. Put some water in your mouth and go to sleep. You'll be all right. You ain't the end of the world. You'll be all right. But this is what I want to, and what I'm getting at, y'all, is family. What I'm trying to get you to understand is that a man's family are the women that he touched. And those women produce children. Okay? The family is the man and the woman. And the product of the family is the children. When we don't do it right, what we do is we turn it into vile affections. This is why we have an insatiable appetite for intimacy. Everyone wants intimacy, and you want intimacy without procreation. Repent. Because now you have women that are crying, hurt, he hurt me. But what did you do before the Most High? How many birth control pills did you take? How many ABs have you had? How many men have you been with and left for another man because his issue didn't fit the same or wasn't the same as the other man, or the other man had more money than the other man, or this one was this one or that one was that one? How many times have you done that? But yet, you don't, because we don't consider these things when it's time for punishment to show up.
That recompense.
That recompense. We all have it. All of us. Every man and every woman. We all have it. All of us go through it.
Penalty. That means it fits the crime.
It fits.
What you're going through, it fits what you're going through.
And the Most High is the one. Right, and the Most High is the one that ordered the penalty.
I was just about to go there. I was just about to say that. The Most High, whatever, it doesn't matter if you are a man that has no children. It doesn't matter if you're a woman that has a lot of children. It doesn't matter if you're a woman that can't have children. It doesn't matter if you're a man that got too many children. The recompense, the penalty fits the crime.
Let's go to the Bible to get an answer for that. Because some people might say, no. Let's see what the Bible has to say. Let's go to Psalm 51. Let's see what David had to say about that. The man after God's own heart. Let's see what he had to say. He says, verse number 2. I acknowledge my transgressions, and my sin is ever before me. Against thee only, verse number 4, have I sinned and done this evil in thy sight. Listen to what he says. That thou mightest be justified when thou speakest, and be clear when thou judgest.
So David wasn't ducking no shots.
None.
He said, if there's a recompense, if there's a penalty, because of what I've done, I'm not even gonna try to bob and weave. I ain't even gonna try to get on the bicycle. I'm gonna stand here and I'm gonna eat these shots that the Most High fitting to give me in judgment, because he's righteous in what he does, because the penalty fits the crime. The penalty fits the sin.
Do y'all understand that's why Yahushua had to be put alive on the cross? Because the penalty for our inability to keep the moral standards was befitting of unalivement before the Most High. But he did not want to keep us in Lodabar, a place of desolation. But there had to be atonement before him. Had to be. Somebody had to be penalized. And he chose himself. Put on an earth suit. Take the penalty on behalf. And all man has to do, because now he was introducing the new covenant. Woo! And that new covenant, he says, I'm going to put it in their heart. Their inward parts.
Facts.
But the heart, my friend, what the heart has three things that is associated with the heart: the mind and the will. So you got to have a will to want to do it, and you got to have a mind to put there to do it, and your heart to stay there for it. And so when those three meet, say that again.
I said that part is the passion, the desire to do it. What doesn't make the commandments grievous, as it says in the New Testament. Right. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I'm good, man. Because you're right on. Because this is where I want to go. So because we got a bunch of broken bodies, and a broken body is a broken family, and a broken family is a hurt person, and a hurt person will hurt a person.
Facts on facts on facts on facts.
Right. Facts. So what do? We do what David done here. What did he say? He says, listen, wash me thoroughly from mine iniquity and cleanse me from my sin. We got to do what David done. Because now the reason I'm using David as an example is because David, there is 2 times in the Bible where it says, after my heart. The first time you hear that was when he told Samuel, I have found one. No, he told Samuel, I have found one after my heart. That was David. Then he comes back in Jeremiah chapter 3 and he says, I will give you pastors after my heart. Now, what is the similarity between the pastor and the heart of, and after the heart of God and David after the heart of God? They both should be loving the law of God. They both should be willing to teach the law of God, be willing to know the law of God, be willing to live the law of God. David wanted it so bad, he wanted to be a priest so he can get into the presence of God. So he put on a linen ephod underneath his priestly garment, jumped out of the priestly garment, made his wife mad because that's what she thought that was a shame, but David thought it was the highest honor you could get. I can get into the presence of the Lord like this. And the Bible says in Hebrews chapter number, well, somewhere in Hebrews, I don't know, but it says that now you can come boldly before the throne. In other words, when Yahushua was on the cross and he was unalive and he decided that he would put himself inside of us, that means now we can do what David longed for. We can go before the throne of God, but we denied that opportunity for self-pleasure. We deny the highest honor. We deny what people longed for. What our ancestors longed for, just the opportunity to get a glimpse of what was inside of the holiest. They longed for that. Priests prepared years and years just for the opportunity, knowing that only one could go in once a year. But we now have it where we can go in at will. This is what Jacob's ladder was about. When he says, I saw angels ascending and descending. The problem is when we don't understand that because we look at it as a story, but angels don't ascend. They descend first. Then they ascend. What he was referencing Israel today, where we will be able to get before the throne of God from here, go before the presence of God and come back. And the thing about going before the presence of God is you cannot go before the presence of God and not come back with a message. This is why the Father, when he speaks, he's speaking from a heavenly place. If he is preaching the law, that means he's been before in the presence of the Most High. Oh, this is good. This is real good. This is good. So Jacob's ladder, ascending and descending. Us can come before the throne. That's us ascending, coming back with the message. Message. You can now come to the throne. But we got to do it God's way. We got to do it God's way. Anytime a man touches a woman through intimacy, he breaks the blood-brain barrier. And when we turn it into pure pleasure, what you have is you have several men that breaks the blood-brain barrier, which makes it virtually impossible. Without the Most High washing her, a man washing her with the word makes it impossible for her to comprehend what a man is saying. Because there's too many voices in her head. Because every man that touched a woman is vying for top spot.
Can I read something out?
Yes, sir.
All right, so I'm gonna stay with where you took us to. Let's go back to Romans real quick.
Okay.
Let's jump down to verse 28.
One of my favorite books in the Bible.
Yeah, man. Right after it deals with the recompense that's meet, or the penalty that's fitting for what we do. All right, so check this out. It says, and even as they did not like to retain Elohim in their knowledge, Elohim gave them over to a reprobate mind. That's one of the scariest words in Scripture. A reprobate mind. Because you got to remember, there was one time where the Most High destroyed a whole earth full of reprobates when he sent the flood down. These were people that were not going to repent. They were not going to turn back to the Most High. And he says that, he had to give them over to a reprobate mind. I'm going to just jump for time's sake. Jump to 29. It says, being filled with all unrighteousness. And the first thing that it lists is, after it says all unrighteousness, why is the first thing that's mentioned fornication? The sign of a reprobate mind with the all unrighteousness is the first thing that it goes into is what you're doing in the bedrooms.
You go to Hosea 4 and then it lists the same thing.
Facts. So we're going to go there. Watch this. Jump down to chapter 2. Watch this part. Because it talks about, hey, those that bring this stuff up, you got to watch it because you're going to get judged too. That's what it says. Look at this. I'm going to read it straight down. It says, therefore, you are inexcusable, O man, without an excuse. Whosoever you are that judges. For wherein you judge another, you condemn yourself. For you that judge, do the same things. So that means that when you talk about these things, you better have left off of those things. You better not be a hypocrite while you're talking about these things. Let's continue. Watch this. Verse 2. This is the part that I like. I don't need your interpretation. I need your explanation in this one. But we are sure that the judgment truth. What does that mean?
That is according to the law.
So when the Most High judges us, he's judging us according to the truth?
The law. He's judging us with the law. According to the truth. According to truth. Against them which commit such things. Truth. Psalms 119, 142. Thy law is truth. That means it's absolute. It's non-negotiable. It is what it is.
Up to maliciousness. I got to give you up to the envy, the unaliving, the debate, the malignity, the whispers, the backbiters, the haters. I got to give. And don't you all know that all the people that commit fornication do all of these things? That there's a sequence and there's an order, and all of these things are against the truth. And when the Most High judges you, he's going to judge you according to the truth that he said about these things, the laws.
Y'all better understand this thing. And that word reprobate, I'm going to go back to that real quick. That word reprobate means that God turns you over to yourself. That's a scary place. That means that God turns you over to you. You are the worst person for you. You don't want God to turn you over to you.
Facts.
So when he turns you over to a reprobate mind, it's like leaving a 2-year-old and a 3-year-old in a house to fetch for themselves. What do you think is going to happen?
Man, we jacked up.
Just look around.
We jacked up.
And we are grown people. I'm grown. I'm a man. I'm a full-grown woman.
I'm a grown behind man.
You got the mentality of a 2-year-old.
Look, Romans chapter 1, verse 31. Without understanding. These are the reprobate minds. You're describing people that don't have no understanding. Look, without understanding, covenant breakers. What's one of the covenants that you can break?
Marriage.
Between a man and a woman?
Marriage.
Covenant. Look at that. Covenant breakers. Look at this part. Without natural affection, which means uninvolving yourselves after you break the covenant.
Broken bodies. I don't care about him. I don't care about her.
No understanding on what you're really doing. How you devalue yourself. Look at this. I'm going to read this one. This is Psalms 119. And this is Psalms 119. I'm jump down to 104. Because those people that got a reprobate mind, they are without understanding. Look at this. Psalms 119, 104. It says, through your precepts, through the laws of the Most High, I get understanding. So if it says that these people are without understanding, what is it that they don't understand? The precepts and the laws of the Most High. They get up here, they fight, they bicker, they argue, and the Most High is showing you're getting closer and closer to me turning you over into everything that you're saying, and you're not going to be able to control your mouth after I turn you over.
Verse 6, Hosea chapter 4. My people are destroyed for the lack of knowledge, because they have rejected knowledge. I also reject thee. That thou shalt be no priest before me, no intercessor. You're not going to be an intercessor. Listen to this. Seeing thou hast forgotten the law of thy God. So the understanding, the knowledge is the law of God. Facts. So when you hear someone say that the law is not necessary, we don't need to keep it, that, my friend, means that they have rejected, and for that reason, they are destroyed. And you wonder why you see so many people hurt, discombobulated. And I'm going to tell y'all something. Medication has really messed us up. Because what medication has done is has made us believe that we can keep sinning as long as there is a doctor that can give us something to give us the appearance that it's okay. So instead of repenting,
the sickness, not the illness.
Right. So instead of repenting, we go to the doctor. Instead of going to the Most High, saying, I have committed this before thee, and only thee. No, I'm going to just go to the doctor. Doctor going to give me this, going to give me an antibiotic. It's so bad until HIV is so bad, instead of people repenting, they're relying on medical breakthroughs to get delivered from this sickness.
Call it what it is witchcraft, because they unaliven the symptoms. But you keeping the illness. The illness is still in you. You just don't want the penalty. You don't want the judgment of that illness that's in you. So you running from the judgment that's a fitting judgment, according to what the Most High said. He said that's a penalty that fits the crime. You lay down, you do all of that stuff, men on men and all this other stuff like that. What you get up with and what you go to see the doctors about is fitting. You lay down with a lot of men, you wake up and you got them bumps on your lips and stuff like that. It's fitting. That didn't just happen because, you just, slipped and fell in the bathtub. No. Sin is work. That's why there's a payment. There's a paycheck at the end.
It's definitely work.
The wages of sin is unalivement.
Y'all make sure y'all tapping the screen, sharing the live. It's 27 of y'all in here, 27 of us. So if y'all could, please tap the screen, share the live for what Unc and we the people is bringing out. I'm almost done eating too, Unc. I'm ready for them questions.
I hope it's good over there, man. Save me some. Take a bite for me. Now, watch this. This is Psalms 81, verse 12. Psalms 81, verse 12. Well, let me start from verse 11. It says, um, watch this. Well, no, I'm gonna do 10. I'm gonna do 10. No, I'm gonna do 9. No, I'm gonna do 9. It says, um, I'm gonna do 8. My bad. Hear, O my people, and I will testify to you, O Yasharel, if you will hearken to me. This is the Most High speaking. There shall no strange gods be in you, neither shall you worship any strange gods. I am the Adonai, your Elohim, that brought you out of the land of Mizraim. Open your mouth wide, and I will fill it. But my people would not hearken to my voice, and Yasharel would none of me. Verse 12. So I gave them up to their own heart's lust, and they walked in their own counsels. Oh, that my people had hearkened to me, and Yasharel had walked in my ways. I should have soon subdued their enemies and turned my hand against their adversaries. The haters of Yah the Master should have submitted themselves unto him, but their time, Yasharel's time, should have endured forever. I like this part right here, because just like there's just penalties, look what the Most High just wanted to do for Israel. Verse 16, he should have fed them also with the finest of wheat, and with honey out of the rock should I have satisfied thee. Ain't nothing in this world that's going to satisfy y'all. Why y'all think y'all keep on going back to the well? Like the woman at the well. And the Most High is like, yo, I can keep on letting you dig up out of that well, but that's just me turning you over to your own lust. The Most High he's not threatening us. He's telling us flat out, I will let you think that you're right about what you're doing. I will let you think that being the 304 is the only way to deal with men. I will let you think being an infidel is the only way to deal with women. And I will let your mouth be a mouthpiece for the other brothers that need somebody, that need some encouragement for being an infidel. I'll let your mouth be a wide. I'll let it be wide, wide, wide. You can be a ugly 304, or you can be a pretty 304. You can be an ugly Betty or a pretty hoe. It don't matter which way you go. You going to speak, and you going to encourage somebody that would have walked that path anyway. Because why? The Most High, this is the act of him giving us up.
That's why
this is judgment.
That's right. That's why you see the rappers doing what they do. All of that's judgment. All the things that you see that influence you. I might as well go ahead on with it right now, but we'll come back to it. That's why you see all the tattoos. That's why you see all the earrings. Did you know that the earrings and the nose rings and the finger rings and all of these things, man, is God's judgment on you. All of these things is judgment. And the only thing you can say is, well, this is what I like. No, because the Bible says in Romans chapter number 1, verse 18, for the wrath of God is revealed from heaven against all ungodliness of men who hold the truth in unrighteousness. He's talking about Israel. So we got what we're supposed to have. We just do it in unrighteousness. Remember I told y'all, we're doing a lot of this stuff. We're just doing it in unrighteous. It's just unrighteous.
Facts on facts.
All we got to do is correct ourselves and make it right. And it starts with intimacy. That's where it starts at. And the reason it's so hard for us to correct intimacy is because of pride and pleasure. Pride and pleasure. Your pride won't let you do it. That's why I tell men that a woman ain't gonna let you do it God's way. She don't want that. So if you're relying on your woman to allow you to do it God's way, it ain't never happening. It's not. It can't happen. Because the first woman, before she had a name, wasn't in her to do it God's way. The difference between Adam and Yahushua was this. One followed the woman and one did not follow the woman. One let the woman influence him, the other one didn't. The entity came 3 times, but he settled the issue of worship. The problem with Yahushua, the problem with Israel, not how Yahushua, but with Israel is this. You follow the woman. That's the biggest problem.
No, Mia. You gotta throw away the laws for that.
Yeah, let's matter of fact, let's go there and read that. And Pastor Nod, as soon as I read this, you can get going. Let me just read this real quick. Real quick. We brought this out the other day. Revelation chapter 2, verse number 6. But this thou hast, that thou hatest the deeds of the Nicolaitans, which I also hate. Now, what are the deeds? Spiritual liberty, giving sufficient leeway to practice idolatry, immorality, and traditions of men. Don't that sound like Western theology?
Facts.
That we call what? Christian?
Facts.
Oh, you can marry and divorce. What we need to be doing is we need to be telling men, God is holding you responsible. You are the accountable party in this scene, in this thing. Women, you are being punished because of your refusal to do it God's way. We're like 2-year-old children. That's the reprobated mind, like a 2-year-old kid. You think you know. What do they call children in their tubes? They got a name they put before it. It's called terrible tubes.
Terrible tubes.
That's all of us. I ain't that no more. I ain't no terrible tube. I'm a teenager now. No, I'm a grown man. I ain't even a teenager now. I'm grown. Because teenagers are wicked. All they think about is themselves. That's it. My mother-in-law said something many years ago. The most wickedest people on the planet are teenagers. Ooh, that joke was funny, boy. The most wicked people, because all they think about is themselves. That's all they're concerned about. We're like teenagers that's 2-year-olds. All we're concerned about is self-pleasure. What's in it for me? And we can forget about. She ain't lied. Fact, she did not lie. She didn't. That's funny, boy. Somebody say, I got 2 teenagers now, and that's true. I know that's right. Oh, man, when she said that, it ignited something in me, and it stuck with me. That saying stuck right there. But I'm here to tell y'all, we got to repent because we're stuck in a state. Even though we might be 40, 50, 25, 30, 60 years old, we still got the mentality of a 2-year-old as a teenager. Because at least a 2-year-old, you can tap their hand and spank them. They'll throw a tantrum, but they're going to get up. And 9 times out of 10, unless he's like really horrible, he's going to leave that alone. But we're not. You know that being intimate with multiple people is wrong. But as long as nobody don't know, you're going to keep doing it. And that's what all of the contraceptives done for us. Is it made us able to appear as if we were innocent. We can have the appearance that nobody don't know what I'm doing. And then we try to say, that's my business. But I told y'all before, the Most High see it all at one time. All of it at one time. All of it at one time. That's your whole life at one time. So every man you ever been with, he's seen him all at one time. It's like you were having a train ran on you. And it was like the men standing in line for a train, in line for his turn in the train. That's how the Most High see it.
And if the woman is guilty for laying down on the couch to allow that, the man is guilty for standing in the line to be next.
So everybody is judged.
Facts.
Everybody. I mean, y'all let that sink in for a minute. Just let that sink in. Just let that sink in. How many women can envision that? Now, you may not want to put that out there. How many men can envision that? You mean to tell me I'm standing waiting on my turn for this woman? Absolutely. And we've made that the norm. Yeah, they don't like this one.
But isn't that how Yahusha looked at the woman at the well?
You better say it. You've had 5.
He said it was like he was looking at all of her husbands at the same time.
At one time.
It was like when he saw it, and it kind of cracks me up because until you see it from this lens that the Most High, he sits so high that he sees everything. He sits in eternity. Everything is in front of him. You know that when Yahusha looked at that woman, he saw the husbands that planted seed in her. Yep. He saw every single one of them because the seed was still with them. It never left the body. It was in the blood and everything else like that. So he couldn't account her by herself. But it's funny because I believe that the mentality of the woman today is that as long as I'm standing by myself, by this, gallon of Deer Park water, you don't see yourself that you like the woman at the well. And you saying, while you grabbing, whatever type of water you like to drink, you saying, I'm single. And the Most High is like, nah, you got a bunch of men around the couch that was waiting on their turns, and you let them in. Now, they guilty for doing what they did, but you let them in. You gave it up. So there's an accountability factor on both sides of those things, because this is the reason why the Most High said in the garden, Adam, where art thou? Why is that woman walking around and she can feel like she's single? Adam, where art thou? Now, she don't want to be kept. She running from you or whatever. You can't do. Listen, we can't be putting hands on people because they don't want to be with us and stuff like that. But still, why would you choose that? Adam, where art thou? Where was your mind at when you was choosing to be in the line? It's crazy.
Absolutely. It's crazy. It's crazy, y'all. But that's family, y'all. Family is when a man goes into that woman, they become one. That's family. And he could be one with multiple women. Yep. And the Most High doesn't penalize him for that. But what he gets penalized for is the infidel. That means he became one with multiple women and was not accountable for none of the women. That's what we get penalized for. But you let the woman tell you she's been adulterated by, and that word adulterated just means you've been defiled by multiple men voluntarily without the desire to maintain the oneness with not one until we take a vow. Y'all, we got to repent. We got to repent because we are Israel. You're Israel. You're Israel. You're Israel. I'm Israel. We are Israel. We are Yasharel. Let's do it God's way. Come on, Pastor Knowledge. What you got for me?
Well, congratulations first for hitting 112K in an hour exactly.
Wow. Go ahead, Unc.
To God be the glory. Y'all keep tapping, though.
Yeah. Everybody else doing the tapping.
I ain't going to keep on writing in there 120K and we on our way to 200K. Somebody else going to have to do it.
To God be the glory.
But the first question, is it emotional abuse to push someone to their emotional breaking point and then shaming them for breaking?
Is it emotional abuse to push someone to act or to aggravate them to their emotional breaking point, and then
Right.
yeah, but that is a that's manipulation. That is a form of
Witchcraft.
what you took the words right out of my mouth. And it is also spell casting, because I want you to get to this place. There we go, narcissistic.
I think they call it gaslighting.
Yeah, yeah. And now I want to call the cops on you because I pushed you to this point. And I'm doing this. And I, yeah, that's emotional. That's emotional abuse. It should be a crime, but you take somebody to court for it.
A lot of people be going to court if that was a crime.
Can I make a comment on that?
Yes, sir.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
So there was a woman that had an abused woman run to her, and she said, "My husband abused me. My husband abused me." And she ran, and the woman was upset, so she ran to go confront the husband. And the husband was sitting down on the steps, and he had his head down and everything else like that, and his hands and stuff like that. And the woman said, did you go upside her head like this? Did you do this? Did you do that? And the man said, "Can I speak?" And the woman said, "Yeah, you can speak." He said, "I made a vow." This is a true story. He said, "I made a vow to the Most High that I would never, ever lay my hands on a woman. And when I got married, I told that to my wife. And every day, ever since I told her that I made that vow to God, she has slapped me, spit on my face, threw my plate in the floor, punched me in my back. Every chance that she got, she did this every day to try to get me to break my vow. It happened so much that my son went to school, and when they asked him to write about his family, she said, the son, the little boy, he was young, he wrote, he said, "Tell me something about your family." My mom beats up my daddy. And he said, "Man, the last time that she came in here, the next time she come in here, I can't show my sons that this is what she's supposed to do." He went to stop her. When he went to stop her, of course, it went to that level. The woman turned around to the wife and said, "Is this true?" And she didn't say anything, and she just turned her head. And the woman said, it was a level of wisdom to actually hear both sides, because that was a man that was defending himself. He did that after he got attacked, and he did it to stop her from doing that and to show the sons, this is not what you're supposed to accept from a woman that you married to. There's people that, and it's on both sides. It's not just on the woman's side. That story just happened to be the woman. But there's men that do that to women, and they're the ones that's physically stronger. I brought this up in a study the other day. You know that you're physically stronger than her. Why would you put your hands on her like that? But but men would come running. We will come running to stop that dude from doing that. If anybody in Yasharel seen that, we will run to stop that dude from doing that, because that man is way stronger than you in that area. But how many women would come running if they see a woman that is stronger in the area of speaking, talking, and saying things or whatever else like that? Men we ain't strong like that in that area. How many women would run to stop that woman from verbally abusing her husband?
Hey,
I just think it's something that we need to understand, that just like that can happen on the physical side, it can happen on the verbal side, and it can be done either way by both parties.
Hey, we the people, you ain't lying, man. I mean, I know you said it was one of your partners, but that was actually a situation I was in before I got married to who I'm married to now. I was dealing with that all the time. And, of course, the laws will get called, and, they already coming for me because it sounds like, her story is true because, they don't see it as a woman can do that to a man. And I refuse to put my hands on the mother of my children, mom of my children. And I was looked at as a punk and treated bad in so many ways. I had to walk away from it. Like I literally had to walk away from it while people were sitting there talking noise about me, making it seem like I was the abuser.
But that's the thing about it. When you ask a question like that, sometimes even men can do that to women where they push women over the edge verbally. Right. And I'm talking about verbally. Like now I'm saying push their woman over the edge, and when she breaks, after that, why you being all sensitive and using reverse psychology on it and stuff like that. Because if it's witchcraft for a woman to do that, it's witchcraft for a man to do that. And that's warlockism.
Warlockian craft.
Facts. Facts on facts. So I just think that Yasharel needs to check themselves because everybody that comes into the truth ain't really living out on the truth that they just read. Some of them still working on their soul salvation.
Oui. That's right.
That's what's up, y'all. What's the next question, man?
All right, hold on. Let me get my questionnaire. The next question. Oh, this kind of go with them. When a man stops arguing, is that a sign of submission or that you are no longer worth the argument?
When a man stops arguing, he done made a decision in his mind. He done with it. When a man goes silent, that is not good. When a man goes silent, that ain't good. When the Bible talks about 400 years between Malachi and Matthew, they call it the Dark Ages. God wasn't speaking. The world was chaotic. Y'all know about it. You know about the Dark Ages. They call it the Dark Ages because they didn't hear from the Lord. They didn't have nothing to hear from. This book wasn't here. They had a book, but that book that they had was which was located inside the covenant. I mean, inside the ark that was taken. They didn't have nothing, so they didn't have nothing to go off of. So when a man stops speaking, the family don't have nothing to go off of. It becomes chaotic. It becomes horrible. And that's what they're trying to do now. They want the man to be silent. That's why they give every child get a video game, a phone. Because what speaks the most in your house controls your house. Whatever speaks the most in your house controls the house.
Wait a minute, Unc. You said they get what the child get again?
Video games and cell phones and anything that would supersede the voice of the man or replace the voice of the man. Because anything that they put in their hand is teaching them. So if your children...
That makes sense as to what you just said.
Right. If you put Fortnite in their hand, you're teaching them to become an unaliver. And you wonder why, and I'm going to tell you how serious it is. The U.S. military used the same game for practicing war games.
So is this why our sons don't listen to us?
Because there's a voice that's louder than yours.
The game system.
The game system.
The game system, baby.
Hello.
Gotta
And
get
you
rid
try
of
to
that
stay, and your daughter's the same way. Social media. And the man, if there is a man around, they want him to be silent. Everybody doing that. Ain't nothing wrong with that. So they attack the voice for that voice.
So, what if a father says, you know, I'm not gonna buy our sons a game, but then the mother goes out and gets the game system anyway, and now, you know, it's like usurping authority. Of course, we know that. And now the children, oh, I want to go stay with my mama. I don't want to stay with you.
Remember, what does a woman do when she speaks against the father to the children? She cursed them.
Mm-hmm. Monsters. Second Ezra chapter 5, verse 8.
Oh, y'all about to take it there, man.
That's what she does.
Come on, y'all.
I mean, don't go there tonight because we're going to come back to that. I want to have a whole study on that subject. Totally different.
Okay.
But I do want you to know that when that woman speaks against that man to them children, undermines what that man say to them children, she is cursing her children. That's why you're going to have all of the broken bodies. All of this, man, is because of Western theology that puts us in a reprobated mind. The doctrine of the Nicolaitans. All of it, that's where it comes from. And that, my friend, I want to say it, is Christianity. Because they'll tell you, it's okay for him to have that game. It's okay for him to have that car, to have that phone. But if you go and you talk to some of the richest people in the world, they don't give their kids phones.
Not even the ones that created the stuff.
Not even the ones that create the stuff. Because they understand. We the ones that don't. The peasant mindset.
Yep. The rappers won't let their own children listen to their own music.
That's right. But they'll sell it to you and become rich.
That's the facts. That's the men and the women. There's a boy, who's the boy from 2 Live Crew? Man.
I don't know.
I think it was Uncle Luke.
Yeah, Uncle Luke. That's right.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, the real nasty man. Talk dirty all the time.
Yeah. They tried to play his music in front of his children, and he doggone near broke the TV to get them away from that. So it's okay for you to corrupt our children, but it ain't cool if your own words corrupt your own children. And this is how devious.
Right. Shay just put in the chat, and most of it is made in China. And they don't
Facts.
let
where
their
did China
kids
come from?
But they don't let their kids play it.
Facts. But where did the culture of China even come from? These were the Sodom and Gomorrah survivors. If you want to deal with Moab, all right, I ain't gonna go there. But anyway, truth be told, you're looking at old culture. You're looking at a culture that, man, is crazy and is deep. I think it wasn't Lil' Kim. It was I think it was Nicki Minaj. Somebody tried to play the music in front of her children. She ran to stop the same effect that Luke had. So you see that it's our own people that's throwing this away, just so a couple of them can get paid, a couple of them can get rich, and they teaching the women to be, have the mindset to be independent, and by teaching the women while you teaching that mentality in front of everybody that the woman is independent, if the men eat it up, it makes them automatically shift into being an infidel when they listen to the same music. Because she don't need me, so why am I going to stay?
Yeah, I don't believe in it. I think that, and I said it before, that whatever speaks the most in the house controls the house. And I've been saying that since the 90s. Whatever speaks in your house, if your wife speaks more than the man, she's controlling your house. If your children speaks more than the parents, they're controlling your house. If the video games on the TV is speaking more in your house than you, they're controlling your house. They're setting the standards for your house. And when you finally do speak, you're going to have a fight on your hands. A real fight. When you finally do speak as a man, because they've been cursed and they've become accustomed to living under the curse. That's what they've become accustomed to. So whatever speaks the most in your house controls your house. Whatever that is, that's why they want to move the man out of the house. Y'all, that is a curse on the nation for us to embrace this lifestyle and then come up with reasons why I don't need a man. Oh, you need a man. Oh, you need a man in that house. Oh, believe me, you need a man. Just the presence of a man, just his presence changes the dynamics of the house. Just his presence changes the dynamics. And for someone to say, I don't need a man, is to say, I don't need the Lord. I don't need the Most High. Let me prove it to you. Let me prove it to you. I got to prove it to you because some of y'all, he just be talking. He just be talking. For the man indeed not cover his head for as much as he is the image. So when that man is in the house, that is the image of God in your house. If you have a house and there is no man in your house, you have no image of God. So if you have no image of God, of the Most High in your house, you don't have no order, no standards. And if you have a man in your house and you are belittling him, going against him, challenging him, you are actually challenging the Most High. Shut up. That's children and wives, because the woman teaches the children how to treat that man based on her actions. Just on her actions alone.
It's crazy.
So, and if that man is not in the house, sometimes it's better for him, it seems like to me, because she don't get the opportunity to teach the children to be disrespectful and condescending to the man. So all thing they can have is love for him. That's why a stepfather is treated worse than the real father in the house. Because the real father, all they know is love for him. But the stepfather, the disciplinary one, the one that's trying to rear them, they grow to dislike him.
It's facts. Facts on facts.
That's sad.
And most of the,
So wait. With you saying that about the stepfathers, right? Let me ask you this, because I got real world experience with this situation. So if a man has a child with a woman and they separate, and then she has a child with another man, and that man returns to her, which I think isn't correct to begin with, but
that's the law.
If that man returns to her,
right.
So if that man returns to her, I guess what you're saying in accordance with the law is that he can't expect nothing but disrespect when it comes to that stepchild. He can't expect anything but some lip when it comes to that stepchild, because even if he tries to rear that boy, the parent of that boy or the grandparents of that boy gonna come and say, oh no, you can't do that. You can't love that child by chastising them because you ain't his blood relative. You get what I'm saying? So even if he wants to be a stepfather, he's walking into a curse, because even his good advice is gonna be taken as bad advice.
You better keep talking, man. Because what you're saying is actually what it is. I couldn't read it. y'all better hear me with your spirit on this. This thing is serious.
And it's even down because, and it's crazy because in most of the situations, and I don't mean to kick up no dust, but you know me, I'm gonna kick up dust anyway. Most of the men that I've seen that were good brothers that stepped up and was the stepfather, in most cases, what I've seen that's been the trend is that the women divorce that man after the last child gets old enough to be 18 and move on out of the house.
Because remember what I told you now. You're not her first choice.
Well, according to what you said last week when you was kicking up dust, Unc, let's talk about the dust you was kicking up. You were saying that that's the reason why when a man and woman is intimate in the bedroom, when the woman had another person, it takes her longer to get there. And the man, and y'all pretty much can't even finish together because even her body is telling you the truth. It's telling you that you're not the first choice. I can't even complete this with you. You going to have to work twice as hard, 3 times hard, 5 times hard, and it may not even happen. And then when you're done, you said that she might have to go get a toy to finish off herself because that's how much
that dude
that she settled for you.
Or go find that same dude that get her off.
But that's the thing about it. They say that you can't believe what a woman says if you don't have the proof of what she is doing to go along with what she's saying. Right. That's what's commonly said right now amongst the dating world. And now we know that, Gentiles, they're going to be the Gentiles. But the Gentiles, sometimes they be making some observations that's true in certain senses, where they say that a woman will say one thing, but she'll respond to something totally different. She'll say that I want this. I want a good man, but she'll respond to the bad boy. She'll say that, y'all see what I'm saying? So I ain't got to go that deep with it. But those things, if you look at that and what Unc has been saying, when you done gave out your body to so many different men and, you put yourself in that position, I wonder if we took a poll just amongst husbands out there, how many would be honest enough to say, you know what, we running into that.
And I just wanna say that when you say like I don't know what his name is, but I just know that in that little corner it says we TH.
We the people.
But when we the people says that, it reminds me of that scripture. Now I don't know where the scripture was, but it says, "You have taught whores your way of life." You done went in and you done got so dedicated.
Put some fruit in the chat. It's 304s. 304s.
304s.
304s. Put some fruit in the chat, please. Somebody put some fruit.
You done got so dedicated that now you teaching women that don't even need to know what's going on, your way of life. And it's like, a lot of men out here, they're dedicated to the Most High, and they get blinded by trying to do the right thing. And they see children as innocent, and they see these women as misguided. But a lot of the times you can get mixed up in the flow of that misguidance and throw your own future away by trying to save somebody else and be there for somebody else.
You're right. So what do? We got to repent. And men first, because it's the punishment is the man. We getting punished. It's our punishment for what we've done. The women suffer because of her participation in what we do. So they get punished for that. But it starts with the man. Hosea, what does it say? Hosea 4 and 6. It tells you right there, all of it is about, he's telling the man, your daughters are going to be this. Who have wives? Do women have wives or do men have wives?
It's the men.
So your wives will commit adultery. So who's he talking to?
He's talking to the men.
So the punishment, so the suffering is the men rejecting the knowledge of God, which is the law of God.
Well, he even told the men that he wasn't even going to punish the daughters of the women because the men left off. The men became the infidels and did the things that they were doing, and the women, all they did was follow and copy the man. Said, I'm not going to punish them for what they have done. I'm going to get you because you are the head, not them.
It goes right back to Adam and Eve. Adam got punished because he followed the woman. So everybody getting punished. So until we understand that we got to do it God's way as men, we can't go to the woman and expect her to do it because she will not do it. No shade to you, woman, but that's not because it's not your responsibility. It's the man. Even though you got a voice and you got a lot to say and you think you know, it is the man's responsibility to keep the law in the land.
Facts on facts. And to teach it.
And the teacher. That's why he gets to carry the name. What's the name he get to carry? Father. That's why we get to carry the name. But if we're not going to do it God's way, now we become baby daddies. You're no longer the father. You're a baby daddy.
You're an infidel.
There you go. So, and when we accept that, that's my baby mama.
And so, what it sounds like to me is it's the man's job to create a righteous household. Yes, along the way he might get stringed in to these different things. He might get, you know what I mean? He might mess with a woman and think that it's gonna go good, and then she shows her true colors, or however it goes. But it's still his responsibility to create for himself, to the glory of the Most High, a righteous household.
Absolutely. It's the man's responsibility to create that. And he cannot base it off of the feelings or the emotions of his wife.
Facts.
You better get like
kids. Well, you ain't gonna get away from these questions.
Yeah, I was gonna say, if Pass don't go with a question, you know I'm gonna hit you with a doozy.
Yeah, we coming with some questions. Now.
Okay, come on with the next question.
Anybody can answer.
And we didn't hear from Sister Momo. She's been up here with us.
Okay,
yeah,
Sister Momo, yeah. Better come back in.
Yeah, I'm listening, but what from a female's perspective, if she is a righteous woman, it goes.
Oh, you died out, Momo. She might have got a call.
It goes back to Proverbs 12:22, right? If she is, it's an abomination if she's not following the law. Let me get to my Bible.
You say Proverbs 12:22?
Yeah.
I got you.
And
I want to know. I got a question I want to ask.
Proverbs 31:26. Go ahead. I'm sorry, young.
What makes a woman righteous?
Her obedience to the law and her submission to the man who teaches the law. That's what makes a woman righteous.
I need you
but
to
we
say,
can see what the word says.
I want you to say the second part again, because the second part supersedes the first part.
Say that first.
It is the man who teaches the woman the law and how she ought to uphold that law so that she could teach it to her children in turn.
Ain't that Titus
so that the house could be cohesive, that the house could be one. Just as he said in John 17, right? His prayer to the Almighty Father was that they will know that we are one, and so that they could be the same. And I'm just paraphrasing. And pretty much he is saying that he wants us here on earth to be one with him, but also for us, husband and wife and man and woman, to be one, to be a unit. Not he, him, her, they, and them, but one. Everybody is one. So God is the center. The man is on one side, and the woman is attached to the man, and the kids is attached to the woman and to the man, as he is getting the understanding and the revelation and the Rhema's word from God downloaded into his spirit. He in turn teaches it to her so that she in turn can be obedient and follow it and teach it to the kids. So it creates an atmosphere of cohesiveness, of synchronicity, oneness, on one accord. That's why you see how everything is connected. If you listen from the beginning to the end, it's showing you how he wants it to be in one accord, in oneness. And we have nowadays a lot of females are resistant to the voice of Yah because they cannot submit to the man who is trying to teach them the law.
But I don't mean to disagree with you, sister, but at the same time we have to keep in context of the Torah. When we talk about how a woman becomes a wife, she gets given from her father to her husband because the husband plays the role of a father to the whole family, including his wife. And so a lot of the times a woman does not see her, or even though a woman and a man is side by side, even the curse of the woman was that her desire would be after her husband and her husband would rule over her. And so a lot of the times a woman does not want to recognize that that is a part of her role because that is the curse that she inherited through her own decision making. And so if you were born a woman and you become a wife, then whoever your father and you decide is a good husband for you, that is now your leader in all completion. There is no room for you to be now of course a woman is supposed to be a helpmate. She's supposed to advise her husband. At the end of the night when something weighs heavy on his mind or on his heart, she is his last advisor because she lays right next to him in bed. She tells him what she thinks and he has to ponder over all these things before he makes a decision. But he makes the decision. And it's not on the woman to teach the children. He teaches her just like he teaches the children. And just like the children, he could find her in an area where he goes, hey man, this is our code of conduct. This is our law. This is how we carry ourselves. And because of that, I see you found wanting in that area. And just like a child, if he's truly, dedicated to Yahuwah and dedicated to the law, then he will correct her. But if she is truly dedicated to Yahuwah and dedicated to his word, then she will take that correction and she will be corrected. But the point I'm trying to make is that a lot of women these days, they do not see their man as the ruler. They see them as equal rulers. And that's not what the scripture says. Now, if you believe something else, then you don't believe in the scripture. The scripture says your desire will be after your husband and he shall rule over you.
Okay, I agree with everything that you said. You are correct. And that's the very same thing that I was saying. You just put it in a different way. I was saying he is going to get the word, the law, and teach it to his wife. And that's the very same thing you say. But Proverbs 31:26 says it best, right? She openeth her mouth with wisdom.
She do what now?
And in her tongue, she opened her mouth with wisdom.
Wait, stop right there, Momo. Momo.
Okay, I'm sorry.
No. Because we the people, real quick, as short as you can. What is wisdom?
Wisdom is the keeping of the law.
Okay, that's it. That's all I wanted. Come on, Momo, finish.
And it says that, and in her tongue is the law of kindness. So it just reiterates what brother just said.
That means
right?
She got it from her husband.
There you go. There we go. We are on one accord now. We are on the same page, brothers. We are.
Man, I feel chills on my body with that one.
That's the essence. That's the essence of the whole relationship, the law. And where you get the law from? Yahoo. Yeah. Our God, our Father, our Creator. That's what he wants. That's where the relationship comes in. We keeping up his law. And by doing it like Ung says, doing it his way. When we are in repentance, is that when we come out of alignment and we repent, that means I am agreeing with you, Father. I am agreeing with your words. I am agreeing with your voice and your laws. So you repent, so you're coming back in alignment with him by following what he says. And what he says is in his law. You can't deviate from it. You have to stick to that, regardless of it. We have to be fixed as children of Yah. We have to fix our hearts and our mind and every part of our being on his laws. It's not done away with. Those laws are very essential to this day. And we have to adhere to it. Because if we cannot adhere to it, we are telling him, hey, Daddy, your voice is not a priority and it's not important to me. My desire, my wants, and what the world is saying, which is through the influence of Satan, is more important than listening to your voice. So I don't need to hear from you, Father. But guess what? You're going to be my Santa Claus. When I need something or when I'm in trouble, I'm going to come and cry out to you. Oh, Lord, Father, God, have mercy. I need your help. And expect him. That's when he will say, away from me. I know you not. Because guess what? You didn't allow him to come in because he been standing at the door. You see how it all connected? He been standing at the door, knocking. He been standing at the door all the time, knocking and waiting for you to open up that door so that he could come in and be one with you and teach you who he really is. But we're not seeing him. We're not hearing him because we are blinded by what Ung said, our pride, our desire. And it's so funny. He put sexual immorality and all those witchcraft, all those things under what? Idolatry. Look at that. And this is what we need to take heed of and listen carefully to his voice, because he's trying to protect us from falling into that idolatry. And that goes back to what? That's why he made it his first commandment, to love him. If we love him, we will obey his voice. If we love him, we will hold fast to his laws, his precepts, his commandments, his decrees, his statutes. If we love him, we will hold fast to those. And a lot of us claims that we love him, but yet our actions is saying something different. So that's why he said to them that you speak to me, but your heart is far from me. See how it all comes back? It all comes back from what he's saying in Old Testament is being And this is what people is not making the connection, because the Bible is codes. God is speaking in codes, and he wants us to decode it. And he's telling you, if you read Isaiah 28:10, he told us how we ought to decode his messages and how we ought to, because what? He is perfect because he wants us to be perfect just like he is perfect. Absolutely. And his law is perfect. And it is the truth. That is the only truth. Everything else is a lie.
Absolutely.
Right, and I'm about to decode these questions.
Okay, I land my plane.
Thank you.
Thank you, for allowing me to express that.
Can I give you something real quick, concerning that before we move on?
No, you may not.
Yeah, I got you real quick. This is going to be real quick. This is Proverbs chapter 6. This is for the brother that was saying that it was for the men to teach. I want you to apply this one to everything that you're reading concerning the Torah as well. This is Proverbs chapter 6, verse 20. It says, "My son, keep your father's commandments and forsake not the law of your mother." They really are designed to work together. I do agree that it's the fathers that the brother had a good point. In the Torah, it points out directly that it's the men that's supposed to be the ones that's teaching the law, giving out to the law, teach it to your children. I believe that's in Deuteronomy, where it talks about that. But then when you see it, progress later on, and you start to see like a microscope held up to that, that's what the help meet is about. She's supposed to help you with that, even in concern of the children in that regard. But Paz, my bad, you got it.
Oh, no, you good. True or false, Unc? Women think having a man's back is only backing him up when he's right in her eyes.
True.
Anybody up?
Because she'll throw you under the bus. She'll throw you under the bus, but she don't think you right in her eyes, buddy. She throw you under the bus. You best believe that. If you not right...
Hold on, ask the question again.
I'm going to ask you one more time.
Slow it down.
Women think that having a man's back is only backing him up when he's right in her eyes. You still stand on that?
I can second that. I can second that. If she doesn't think you're correct, she'll let you know, and she'll let everyone know in the group that she does not think that you are correct.
So she gonna go get some backup?
Backup might already be there.
Yeah, they already inside of her. Remember, we told you that when she get married, all of the men that she's been with is right there with her. So she already got her board of directors in her head.
So I got a question for you concerning that question, huh? Is her only having your back when she thinks that you're going in the direction she wants you to go into? Is that really submission? Can that really be submission?
No,
that's
man.
Control.
No, that's control, man. That's control.
So, if she agrees with what you're doing, and she's like, "Yo, all right, I'm gonna show that I got his back," that's an act of submission. So if she already agrees, she wants to eat popcorn, and he wants to eat popcorn. So her getting the popcorn is just an act of submission because she already wanted popcorn. Is that the case?
Because she already wanted popcorn?
Yeah, she already wanted it. She already wanted it, so it's not difficult for her to submit to that.
Nah, that's not. Because it's only submission.
Why can't it?
Go ahead.
My bad. Go ahead. You answering it? Go ahead.
Now, my man up top was saying something.
I think it's Mike.
I was just saying that that's a form of unity. Like if she wants to eat popcorn and I want to eat popcorn and we took the thought out of each other's mind, that's an area of unity. Well, and unity's great, but it's when I tell her, hey, we can't eat that swine no more.
There you go.
Now that's an area where she needs to submit.
There you go. When you say no more crab legs, when you say the Sabbath day, keep it holy. You know what I'm saying? When you talk about the feast days, the birthdays, when you start talking about that, and you're not, that's submission. That's where we at.
Can I say something? I'm so sorry. I think I'm having a delay. But I wanted to answer that question with Proverbs 14:12. There is a way which seemeth right unto a man, but the end thereof are the ways of death.
Unalive.
Unalive. Excuse me. Unalive. I apologize about that.
You good?
I'm sorry. So she better align herself with her husband, with her man.
So
and do it.
All right, let me ask you this. Let me ask you this, Sister Momo. I got a question for you. So are you saying that the only time that is real submission for a woman is when what the man wants disagrees with what she wants, and she goes and supports what he wants regardless of how she feels?
Not necessarily. She's supposed to submit regardless. That's off the top. Right? Because that's what God said that we ought to do as a woman. He tell us what? Submit unto our own husband. We submit to our husband, and we ought to respect our husband, right? Those are the commands he gave to us as females. Respect and submit. So even though he may go against what she desires or wants or say, and he allows her to have, state her case and stuff. Once she states what her desires or thoughts are, she have to leave it up to him, because he is the head over her. And whatever his decision is, she ought to obey and submit to him, even though she may not agree with it. But that's what Unc was talking about back last week, goes back to being daughters of Sarah. All right? And considering the man, her husband, her master, her Lord. It's not that putting him up on a pedestal and worshiping him. No. It's just that he has the authority over her. And she recognizes that. And in other words, she's staying in her lane. She was like, oh, I disagree. But you know what, sweetheart? The decision is yours. And whatever you say, and do it with a cheerful heart, because God loves a cheerful giver.
So, Unc, my question to you concerning what Sister Momo just said, if the act of submission, right, is not being commanded, do you think that men go to their wives sometimes and ask them their opinion, not to see if they'll submit, but to see if they have that unity? Like, it might be, hey, I don't know, let's say if it's buying a house, and the husband might go to the wife, even though the husband knows he got the last say, the wife knows he got the last say. But do you think that sometimes men ask their wives, what do you think, just to gauge and see how united and how one that they are without the husband saying what his mind is to his wife?
Of course. And I can say that for my own self. I just asked to just see if we're in sync. Even though I know which way I'm going with it, and when he knows whether he's gonna have to fight or not. Because a lot of times if she's not in sync, you're gonna have to fight. Oh, you're gonna fight. It's gonna be a fight. It's gonna be an argument. It's gonna be a pull. It's gonna be a tug of war, and the man all of that is just draining to the man. It's draining. And men, y'all on here, y'all know if you're married or you've been in a relationship, you know what I'm talking about. It's tiresome, and it's all because she has been so given this narrative that she don't have to be in agreement with her husband. And I'm gonna tell you how this works. The first problem with that is most women don't understand husband. Husband.
House band.
Right. They don't understand that term. Adonai, Lord, owner, ruler, master, which means teacher. They don't understand that term. They think a husband is a partner. Women, your husband is not your partner. Matter of fact, I'm going to put that in the video. Your husband ain't your partner. He's not.
I just wanted to say that a lot of times husbands will come to their wife just for counsel. It ain't even about trying to find out if we on the same wavelength. I'm coming to you because I chose you as a wife. I want your counsel. You're supposed to be my helpmate. You're supposed to be my advisor. So I want your counsel.
But you know what that is, though? I'm going to tell you what that is, preacher. What that is when you go to that woman for that, what you're really looking for is you looking for her to give you back what you already gave her.
Too much is given, much is required.
So when you're having those pillow conversations with her and you're doing this, only thing you want from her is for her to give you back what you already gave her. Because at that moment, you need what you said to be heard again to you. You don't need her to come up with what her friend said over here, or what this person said over there. You don't need none of that. All you're looking for is what you have already given her to be given back to you. You don't need her to give you what some other dude said. Because those conversations, that's called intercourse. Intercourse means a conversation that you entered into a course, and that course was a conversation about something. We think intercourse is intimacy. No. Intercourse is just like when you're taking a class in school. You're taking a class in school, you're taking a course. And you're going in that course to learn whatever that course is about. So when you intercourse with your wife is learning about you. So when you find yourself in a situation where you need counsel, she's only giving you back what you've given her. And I promise you, that will promote you higher than you can ever be. Because now you're hearing what you said given back to you the way she heard it to give it back to you. That's what you're looking for.
Which, hey, it sounds like to me, like if you have a good woman and you done spoke to your wife correctly, and she really believes in you as a man of the Most High, then she'll just repeat to you what you've already said, and it'll embolden you.
There you go.
To be like, oh, baby, I know, because you told me what I told you, and the Most High told me that.
There you go.
But what about, wait. What about a woman that says, well, wait a second. I started this barbecue business. I got my own mind. And she might have her own thoughts. And maybe her thoughts is that she likes pink and red instead of blue and gray. So, even though you said blue and gray, does she have to deny her natural tendency to like pink and red just to get down with your blue and gray?
Well, I'm going to say this right here. I think that if a man go that, most of us, I know that I like your analogy. But when it comes to that, to simplicity like that, I believe most of us ain't going into that argument. You want blue and gray, do you. You want pink and red, don't care. But we're going to do it this way.
I hear you on that. But I mean that's transferable, though. That can go into other things that would be, just as deep as, like Abraham. Well, I always look at Abraham and Sarah. And when I look at Abraham and Sarah, there's a lot of things that's seen between their relationship if you're really, really paying attention. Sarah never said, Abraham, where you about to take me? Where we going to live? When we going to eat when we get there?
Wait. Do you know that's why?
Of Sarah,
That's good.
My bad, go ahead. I'm sorry.
But that's why the Most High chose him, because he had a wife that would follow him.
And that part speaks volumes. Sarah's silence is what says everything. It's what says everything. So when you see Abraham, because the Most High wasn't asking Abraham to go consult with Sarah. And women, I'm not saying that women don't have, certain wisdom in certain things, or whatever. They may know things that we don't know.
Don't soften it up, like man. That. Just say what you're going to say. Don't soften it.
Say it with your chest.
I ain't trying to say it, but y'all know, listen, man.
Just say it, man.
Don't be no jelly.
Stop that. I'm saying, I'm saying that with what we're doing right now, I believe that we're turning to our women more than we're turning to the Most High. And we're not giving them an opportunity even to be Sarah, even if she wanted to be Sarah.
You know why?
And that's, you got it, huh?
Well, I'm gonna just say this real quick. You know why? The reason for that is because we're not giving them the law. We're giving them what Steve Harvey said. We're giving them what Kevin Hart said. We're giving them what Barack said. We're giving them what this person said. But we're not giving them what the Most High said. And so when we give them anything outside of that, you're going to get what you get. Because now she believes that I can go over here and get information and bring it back to you.
And that's where the man gets undermined at.
Right there.
And this is where education starts to become a guide to a woman, because she feels like as long as I know more than this Negro that may just have a high school diploma, or might just have some college, or maybe didn't finish college, or whatever the situation is, she feels as though that, a lot of women I'm not going to say a lot of women. Let me stop that. I'm going to say a lot of our own sisters. I can say this about the so-called black woman. They put a lot of stock into their education. And, you know, I have this degree, I have that degree. But at the end of it all, I honestly believe that that's become, in certain ways, I'm going to say in certain ways, it's almost become a curse to the marriage, because it means that whoever has the most knowledge from a school institution is the one that gets to lead the family. And but that's not the way that the Most High set it up. And it doesn't mean the man shouldn't educate himself. Doesn't mean the man shouldn't go after himself or feel inferior because she's going after it, and maybe you was, you know, maybe you was doing something else. Maybe you was one of the corner boys, and you was doing all this other stuff like that while she was in. So she deserved to get what she get if she put in that work. But I'm saying that I don't think that we should really look. I think that we got to turn back to looking at these. We have to look at the Most High through Yahusha and see the life that he lived, and that needs to be our counselor.
Keep your thought real quick. Hey, introspective is trying to come up, but I can't see nobody in the queue.
Okay, let me look.
Finish what you were saying, with the people.
No, that's it, man. You know, like I just believe that we just at that point where that, you know, the problem with men being men in their households is the fact that women are weaponizing their degrees to usurp the authority in the position of the man. That's all I was going to say.
I just wanted to add on to that right quick, just a little bit. I just wanted to add on to that just a little bit. It's not even just the degrees or the education or those things. Sometimes it's also they prioritize the knowledge that they received from their mothers above the knowledge that they received from their fathers. And a lot of the times when you're talking to these women, they'll say, oh, you know, my mama taught me this way, and my mama acted like this, and my mama was like that, and I'm not going to do what my mama didn't do because my mama. And so it's like a lot of the times when you try to show them what a man is and how strong a man can be and how wise a man's wisdom is, they come to you with, yes, they do come to you with their education and their degrees and their paperwork that they got that you might not have. But they also come to you and say, hey, my daddy, you know, I really didn't learn nothing from my daddy. I learned from my mama. And they'll get all of that wisdom that their mama done gave them that turns them away from a man and try and tell you why that makes you less of a man.
There's a comment that was made down there by Sister Shantrisa. She said, man, I need to go back to school. Hold on one second. Some of the degrees can be used to grow the community, right?
Yeah.
Absolutely, because it works in the system that built it. I believe it is. But I don't think that it's right if you try to take that degree to grow the community and you try to use it to rule the house if your husband is not going in that way.
Your mama don't live here. You know what I'm saying? Your mama don't live here. She ain't who I'm with. So your mama stuff don't matter. It's the law that matter. The law of the Most High in my household.
Amen.
Get all that extra stuff. Just keep it a buck.
But you know what? I wanna touch on
nice,
something.
y'all.
I know y'all is. I'm trying to be nice and get some more of these questions.
Hey, y'all, we're gonna get one more question. We're gonna have to start winding this down. I know we be having a great live, but I try to keep it within a certain window because I want to look out for everybody. I want everybody to keep coming. I want you to enjoy yourself. I don't want to use one time to just wear you out. You know, I want you to keep coming. You know it's going to be 2 hours and 10, 15 minutes, and we out. We come back again on Saturday. Saturday we go a little bit longer, but we try to keep it from 8 to 10. Okay, when I come on late, I'll stretch it out a little bit, but we was on tonight at 8 o'clock. So we want to try to get one more question in, and then we're going to do what we normally do. We go down for everybody to get their final statements. We haven't heard from Introspective yet, and he just came up. So is it possible, Pastor Knowledge, that we can get Introspective in real quick before your next question, and then we'll get that last question, and then we'll start winding down.
Oh yeah, go ahead. I'm trying to find a good one.
Introspective.
Hey, Unc, how you doing? I just wanted to let you know I'm still kind of tight with you about Monday night. She was talking about then. But I just wanted to say the part of the law where it permits men to have multiple wives if they choose to do so, it's very unfavorable for me because I grew up in a household with 8 women and 1 brother. And when I look at the eldest women in my family, my grandmothers and everything, I don't know what it is about that part of the law, but I know women are prepared to die, prepared to unalive alone, should I say, before accepting that part of the law.
You know why though?
And maybe that's a part of.
Yeah, go ahead.
And maybe that's a part of having a reprobate mind, if I'm saying that right.
Yeah. But introspective. I ain't going there with you tonight.
It's such a, it's just so unfavorable because I just know this about, I don't want to say most women, but the majority. Before you try to explain to them that part of the law, they'll probably be waiting to unalive by themselves before you can actually get through and them believing that.
I'm going to show you the contradictory of that real quick. But they will sleep with multiple men. But they will sleep.
You said they'll sleep
with multiple men.
But they'll always want to be your main lady.
That's the hypocrisy of it. The hypocrisy of it is that they can go and get passed around from family to family because remember, the actual act is marriage. So they don't have a problem getting passed around from family to family. But then they have a problem when the Most High says, no, there's some rules to this. Now there's a reason to turn your lip up at the Most High. There's a reason to, raise a balled up fist to the sky. Because, I'm only supposed to have one, but you have multiple. You have many.
I got something to address on that, but I'm not going to say it yet. Towards the end of my final statements, I'm going to address that. That exact thing will be addressed. I promise.
And we the people, you're absolutely right. But it's just, like I said, I don't know. I'm just, when I hear that part of the law, when you was talking about it, it's just so unfavorable to me because they're gonna fight it tooth and nail, and I don't want to say that it's an age thing with women because I believe they're all like this. They're gonna fight that part of the law. Oh my God, they're gonna fight. They're gonna turn into great debaters. They're gonna, oh man, it's just gonna be a fight. So when it comes to that, like I said, when I look at the women in my family, and it's an unfortunate reality, like. I know that they're a certain type of them, they're probably willing to unalive by themselves before you even feed them that.
You know what? We're going to deal with that. Come on with the next question, Pastor Knowledge, because that's going to take this into a 2-hour conversation.
All right, I'm going to hit you with this one. This is going to be the last one tonight. Everybody can answer, but you can be first. If you kick a dog, should you be shocked if he bites you or runs away? If not, why do women believe a man should not have a reaction when this can be done in so many ways in a relationship?
That's because Western society has promoted the protection of the woman, that she doesn't have any accountability for her actions. So she can do whatever she wants to the man, and the man should never respond. Whether it be emotional manipulation, whether it be physical hitting, whatever it might be, the man is not supposed to respond because we are the man. That, my friend, is what pushes it the most. And the fight is against the man. It is to silence the man, because if the man is silent, remember I told you now, when that man is not speaking, you got problems. You're in the dark ages. It's just like between Malachi and Matthews. Those 400 years of silence from the Most High. No man was speaking from the Most High. All of these things took place. That's when they came up with that's how Cephas became the high priest. He wasn't even supposed to be the high priest. But that's how he got there. Because of the Dark Ages. But I'm going to leave it there. Anybody else want to respond to that? Because we're going to start with introspective for our final statements, and we're going to work our way down 1 minute apiece, work our way down, do my last comment, 1 minute, and we out. Come on.
I just wanted to personally say to the panel, because I wasn't keeping up with who was talking at what point in time. You know, my experience with women is they'll love you for what you are, and they'll love you for what you have, but they won't love you for your command. And so, yes, a woman will fight tooth and nail with you about you wanting another woman. But if your status is on a high enough level, she won't mind being that other woman, because all a woman really wants is her needs taken care of. And as long as her needs taken care of, the amount of things that she will accept go through the roof. Now, if her needs are not taken care of course, you're gonna make a lot of agreements with this woman, you know. But and I'm not talking about random women. I'm talking about my mothers and my grandmothers. When their needs were taken care of, boy, they didn't mind being the other woman. But as soon as that stopped, then they had all of these theological things that they wanted to bring to you and go, hey, I don't like how I'm being treated, and I don't like this, and I don't like that. And they go, well, I'm not going to be the other woman. And hey, that's okay. And that's only my experience. But women usually go for what suits them. And we cannot forget that a woman was the first person to disobey what the Most High had to say. And it's because they want their selves to be fulfilled. And as long as they're fulfilled, they're happy. And when they're not fulfilled, they're not personally happy. And that isn't my opinion. That's the scripture's opinion.
Facts. Introspective.
Yeah, I
go ahead.
Brother, I agree with everything that you said. But I do want to just point out one thing that I know in my experience. As a man, we all know you have to come with a certain type of...
The phone is going real low. His phone going real low. All right, final statements. We'll come back to introspective in a minute. Pastor, Momo, we the people, Pastor Knowledge, and if introspective get back, final statements, okay? 1 minute, please.
My final statement would be, I praise Yahuwah, and I thank him for his law. And I just want to say that I personally want to become a better practitioner of the law, and I want to gain favor from him as a man. And nobody else matters, and nothing else matters but what Yahuwah has to say about my life and how I obeyed his word, because he is my father. And I appreciate all of y'all fellowshipping with me, and I just want to have a peaceful life in obedience to his law.
To God be the glory. Thank you. Introspective, 1 minute. Let's go. Final statements.
Yeah, I just wanted to say I enjoyed the live, and to the preacher, you right about everything that you said. I just feel like us as men, we already know that with it's a responsibility to have, with great things, being a great man. We already know it comes with status and everything of that nature. But one thing I do know about women, in their eyes, they have to see you as that already. They have to put you above themselves already. And if they don't, yeah, all that multiple wife stuff is really kind of out the door. But that's all I got to say. Thank you the panel, and thank you all.
To God be the glory. Sister Momo.
I also want to say thank you for having me up and on the panel and being able to express my thoughts and views. However, I would like to say, let us just really and truly, as a nation and as people, come together and obey, obey, obey the law of our Most High Father, and look and see the goodness that He's going to show up and show off in our lives, so that the other folks, the Gentiles and others, can see that He is our Almighty Father. Thank you all, and it was a delight once again hear my brothers speak. You guys are true king. And Unc, thank you.
To God be the glory. Sister Momo, where are you from?
I'm originally from Trinidad, but I grew up in New York.
Okay, to God be the glory. We thank God for you. Come on, we the people, my friend.
Hey, I believe that the aged women need to really sit down and have a heart-to-heart talk with the younger women on how to speak to their husbands. Most of the questions that came out today was about how the interaction actually happens verbally, even more than some of the things that's being done. You know, I believe that when you become a husband, you become greater than that girl's father, than that woman's father. And it's because the husband holds so many offices within inside of his position. He holds the office of a king. Like the brother was saying, he holds the office of a father. What does a king does? He says commandments. He holds the office of the person that's intimate with you, your lover. He holds that as an office. He holds the office of a teacher. He holds the office of a counselor. And I think that sometimes a woman looks at that one man and they don't understand what office he's speaking out of. A king is going to set up commandments. No, this is how it's going to go in this house. No video games, it's out of here. Like, yo, we waking up at this time. This is what we doing. We establishing, and you'll try to talk to the king like he's your lover in bed. And that don't work. Oh, I was telling you to do what nah, you trying to talk to him like you Vashti. Vashti thought she had a partner. The men came to the king like, you know that you the king, right? And I think that women gets those roles and those offices confused. When that man is speaking, he's the priest of the home, and he's saying blessings over you. When the man is saying blessings over you, over the children, the best thing that a woman can do is what Sarah and what Rebecca and what Leah and all of them did. When Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob started to bless their sons, they shut up. They closed their mouths without a man having to tell them, close your mouths, because they knew the blessings of the children comes from the mouth of the father. And the curse of the mother is going to uproot the foundation. So the only thing that I can do if my husband is speaking in the role of a prophet and a priest over my children and saying things, if I open up my mouth as a female in this moment, I am going to bring out a curse. So I'd rather humble myself down and tell myself, shut up. I ain't got to do this. Give them a way to bless them. Here, take this to your father. Take this to your grandfather. Do that. That's what the women did of old. And that's why we are blessed today, because they knew when to be quiet when the man was speaking, because the Most High was speaking through that man. It might not be something that is I don't know, politically correct to say and all this other stuff like that, but I'm just telling y'all, a lot was said out of the women's silence, and that's why we got blessed. That's all.
Pass, come on, man. Hey, Martin, man, good to see you, Martin. Martin Jamel, been with us a long time, man. We thank God for him. We live in the same city too, y'all. But come on, Pass.
I don't have much. I just want to say, I just want everybody to really take in what we're discussing, what's being discussed right now. And I just want everyone to start sharing the live more, reposting it up, doing some videos to bring people in, as far as, you know, if you're doing something the next day or whatever day it's on, do a video and allow the people to see that you are promoting yourself and bringing them in, because like I told you before, you're doing something so great. You, we the people, me, everybody that's here, you know, the Most High is using us, and we can get this word out there a lot more than what we're doing. I'm not complaining about it. I'm just asking because I'm excited to see what's coming next.
Okay.
But I appreciate you.
Yeah, we're gonna definitely get some more videos out, man. I can't find my tripod, man. I don't know where I put it at, but I'm gonna have to go buy another one. I don't know where I left it at. But y'all, I just want to say this: when the law is studied, it removes human pride and false securities. Once we understand the law, urgency appears. I want to read to you a scripture from Isaiah chapter 2, verse 17, and it says, "And the loftiness of man shall be bowed down, and the haughtiness of men shall be made low, and the Lord alone shall be exalted in that day." Isaiah chapter 4, verse 1, very familiar passage. "In that day, 7 women shall take hold of one man, saying, We will eat our own bread, wear our own apparel. Only let us be called by thy name to take away our reproach." Once the law is understood, urgency appears. The vision is clear. Now, urgency for correction is imperative. Now, when man meditates on this, he gets released from this state of stagnation and begin to perform above the screen. I'm going to talk about that this year. That has held him captive his entire life. Our connections now has been restored to our Creator. The family, remember this is about the family anchors the commands and statutes, setting the tone for judgment. Wake up, Israel. Divine sovereignty. The family shows creation itself that serving God is the main purpose of life. I land my plane. Let's do it God's way. Let's do it God's way. Y'all, I thank God for everybody tonight. Wednesday night, we'll be back on Saturday morning at 11 o'clock a.m. Eastern Standard Time. We thank God for you. Y'all, I try to, not only am I doing this for us, but I try to keep the time down because my family, they kind of get everything quiet in the house and give me that time, this time, without any interruption. So I try to respect them and thank them for allowing me this time to just do this in that time. In this time. So I thank y'all for that. That's another reason I try to cut it off when I do, because, you know, they're trying to go to sleep and get little things done. Everybody's winding down. So we're trying to manage that as well as manage here too. So just bear with me. But on Saturdays, we do go over a little bit. So don't worry about it. But we look forward to seeing everybody again on Saturday morning. Let's do it God's way. Be blessed. Thank you for all the likes and the hearts and the follows. Look for some videos that we will be putting out. I gave a name tonight that I said I was going to do a video. Anybody remember what name I said I was going to do that video in? Anybody remember?
The husband is not your partner, I think.
Yeah, your husband is not your partner. Text that to me, please. All right, y'all. We're gonna get on this. Let's do it God's way. Your husband is not your partner.